Well, hello and welcome to me build of the rigor mortar. I'm doing this while Diecast graveyard is off. A sort of wishing him well and hoping he gets his channel back up and running after being hacked. And there's a warning out there that it could happen to any of us. Anyway, this one's for you, Paul. And it's going to be the rigor mortar. And basically it's just a coffin and large dragster mortar. It's got a bat at the front and skull wheels. I spotted it today while we're out shopping and I thought I'll have one of them. Well, I tell a lie, I went for me second COVID jab and I popped into the shop while I were out and topped up on a few Hot Wheels, and this is one of them. And I thought it'd be just the thing for doing a mention to Diecast graveyard, as I'm missing his posts. Anyway, here we go, just drilling off the base to disassemble it. Slightly out of shot in that one, but I do come back into shot. And there we are, drilling out again. Here, I'm filing off the seam lines on the exhaust pipes, the headers, to tidy them up a bit. And I'm also filing the seams off at the back. The flat exhausts at the back with no detail. So what I'm going to be doing is drilling the exhaust sounds. Find as fine a bit as I can. Me jumpy hands don't help. Flapping my about like a goldfish out of a ball. And I'm drilling the ends of the exhausts so it looks like they are actually exhausts rather than plastic bars. And there I've done one side, and I'm ready for doing the other side. Well, I've mostly done the other side there. I've done the actual a quick touch on, so I censored it, and now I'm going back to do the drilling. I'm using my small USB Dremel. It's ideal for very small, delicate jobs. The bigger Dremels are more cumbersome with. And there we are. All 4 pipes drilled out there, as you can see. And they got a quick sanding afterwards as well. Here we go, doing the other side, finishing them off. It's just to give it that little bit more, little bit of realism to it, rather than looking like chunks of plastic. And there we go. Doing the last few there. Looks rather well once done. And there we are, having a look at both sides. And there we are, done. Next up, I drilled out the intake on the supercharger, rather than it being a flat piece of plastic. Drilled out so it was open. Again, being careful that my fingers hand isn't shaking too much, which is quite difficult nowadays, as it does. And there we are, getting it pretty spot on. Makes it look that little bit better if you can do jobs like this. Opening up things that should have been opened up. And at the front of the engine there's actual skull detail. And everything looks like a skull on a gravestone. So I'll actually be painting that later on. Bring out the details rather than it being lost in all that shiny chrome effect. So it looks that little bit better. And here, what I'm doing here, I've put my other mat down and I spray on a little bit of chrome paint, and I'm going to be using it for re-chroming the wheels, doing like a print effect. And any minute now I should spray silver paint on it. Well, it's actually a chrome effect paint. And there we go. Sprayed a little bit of the chrome on. What I do, just dab the wheel in, because the detail's raised. It brings out the detail on the wheel. And I think I've swapped round there and I'm doing the other side. And it's quite an effective technique. Makes life easier than struggling painting it with a paintbrush. It's faster, neater, tidier, all round better job. And here what I'm doing, I'm drilling the body. I've got my more powerful Dremel out for doing this job. Obviously being careful that you don't drill straight through. And here I'm doing the other side. Or at least I think I'm doing the other side. It's got two posts. This one for holding the body and chassis together, and the seat is sort of sandwiched in between. And I do actually quite like this model as is, really. I may just get another and leave it standard, but the plan is I may get another two, because I want to do what I've done to this one again, but with an addition, which I think it'll look excellent with. I can't reveal too much or it'll spoil me next video. Well, not me next video, but the next time I plan to do this, because I think I'm going to do it again. And I've not cracked out the airbrush today. All painting is going to be done by brush. And the seat is being done purple. For the reason is, purple is the known colour, the death colour. Ironically, it's such a nice colour, but it is known as the death colour. If you watched Torval and Dean's Beware All, That's why they were dressed in purple performing that. Because they both die at the end. So they wore purple to fit in with that. Anyway, here I'm painting it a light sandy colour for a reason it'll become apparent in a wee while. The coffin's being painted light sand, and it'll get another coat after because it didn't go on too good. Here it's getting dabs of black into the exhaust, so it looks like soot, and it looks like they're actually open into the exhaust. Well, they are actually open now, but it looks like they go deeper, I should say. And here, coming up next. What is coming up next? Second coat of the tan colour, the sand. And I've also painted the gas tank silver at the front. That'll also be getting a black wash later to bring up the detail. And those on the real car, they'd be like a stainless steel fuel tank. And here's the clever bit now. I've got Vallejo's wood effect. And I've roughed up a brush here. And basically you brush it on, and it gives like a wood grain effect. You're best brushing it on with a very rough brush where bristles splayed out. And there we go. It doesn't show the fully finished effect here, but you will see it later. And it is a good old effect. It does what it says on the tin. It's a good product. If you're ever painting wood on anything like woodies or any wood panelling on things. Anyway, here I'm putting a black wash onto the engine, so it brings up detail and tones down, so the silver isn't too harsh. Tones the silver down a bit. Anyway, here you can see where the skull has had a umber wash, and the bat at the front there is getting a white. Dry brushing with Tamiya weathering powder. I'm going over the chassis just to bring up the details a bit. It's also got its wheels now. And look in the business. And at this point, I'm starting painting the brass fittings on the coffin. That one's a wheelie bar for the dragster, but I'm still doing it in the brass to fit in with a coffin theme. And here we go. At the moment, move over to the side. I've painted the coffin handles on, and I'm painting, at the moment, I'm squaring up the plaque on top of the coffin better for the poor deceased's name. And there we go. That's about the finishing touch. So here's where we started. A Hot Wheels rigor mortar with skulls as wheels, and it's one of the art cars, so it has flowers painted up it, and it's got a skull on the top and number 1 and stuff. It actually has a perspex canopy, which I've done away with and made it open top. A reason that will be seen if and when I do the other one. There's a reason I want it open top. And in a moment we'll have where I headed off to and what I finished up with. At this point I'll ask you, if you've enjoyed, please subscribe. Even better, if you ring the notification bell icon. And if you all take care, but here's where I finished up. It's got the wood effects for the coffin, it's had new wheels. I've painted the gravestone and the skull at the front of the engine. I've washed it so it brings out the detail. The tank's been painted. The back's been dry brushed so it brings out the detail of the back at the front. The seat's now purple, so it's not all that silly chrome. It's an appropriate death colour. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye for now, and take care.